Book Buzz, brought to you by the Peters Township Public Library. I am Miss Shannon.
And I'm Miss Linda, and we are here with the first half of the November programming in youth services. It's crazy.
Yes.
Our page is so long with so many things
You better
on it.
talk fast.
Well, all right, if you insist. Talk fast and talk lots, which is, we're good at that.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to get right started with Book Buzz Bits, things that we think, all right, let me rephrase that, things that I think you should know. And we were talking, Miss Shannon and I, we were talking about, we had a youth services, or a youth author pass away lately. Mm-hmm. And it was actually a surprise. I was reading up on this, Gary Paulsen. And he died, he was only 82 years old, but reading it because his wife and son survived him, it was a heart attack.
Oh.
Yeah, so, yeah, it was, sad,
Mm-hmm.
very talented. So we're going to talk a little bit about him, and they're going to put up a nice picture and a collage of some of the books that he's done. But this was an article that I got from the New York Times. It was written on the 14th by Clay Risen. And it says, Gary Paulsen, author of Young Adult Adventures, dies at 82. Look how nice that picture is. It's so nice. Gary Paulsen, a prolific writer whose young adult novels like Hatchet, and Hatchet's one of his most famous, and we know that the schools have the kids read Hatchet. Such a beautiful story. And Dog Song inspired generations of would-be adventurers with tales of survival, exploration, and nature. He died in his home in New Mexico at 82. And again, his son said that it was cardiac arrest, which is very sad. But I wanted to just spend a couple moments on him, because reading his bio, I found it very interesting. It gives insight into how and why he wrote his books. And that his life was the inspiration, how he lived and how he grew up for his books. Which I think is not a surprise for a lot of authors. You know, you write what you know, and based on how you grew up and stuff. But the one thing, there was one thing in here that was kind of like a scary visual for a child, but really had an impact. But I'll have to tell you about that. But anyway, Hatchet is his classic. He won a Newbery Honor for Hatchet as well as for Dog Song. And you know what else I loved? He's from Minnesota. And I feel like, I don't know if I knew that. I lived in Minneapolis for 17 and a half years, and I'm not sure that I knew he was from there until I started reading all of this. I mean, he really, really drew a lot from his experiences in Minnesota. So what I liked about how they explain him, they said that running through all of his work, it was his tone and language that appealed to the teenage readers because it didn't speak down to them. That he was able, at his age, or no matter the age, was able to relate and sound exactly like that 12-year-old.
Right.
You know, without being condescending or trying to be too cutesy or whatever. So part of what made Mr. Paulsen's story so compelling was he drew from his own, and often said was like carving pieces of yourself. Like I said, he was born in Minneapolis. Dang, you know, could have been right in my own backyard. But his father, I thought his father was a career Army officer, and then he served with General George S. Patton. How about that? I'm like, wow, that just feels like forever ago. But boy, talk about being in history. But his childhood wasn't that great because his father was in the Army. He lived in the Philippines. He was in the Philippines in the Army. But Gary Paulsen and his mom lived here. And sadly, she was an alcoholic. So their life wasn't, he wasn't the best of childhoods. But this was kind of like a weird thing, that his mom would dress him up when he was 4 years old, dress him up. They moved from Minneapolis to Chicago, and in child-sized soldiers' outfits, like at 4 years old, and take him to bars. Can you believe it? And made him dance on the tables to get the attention of guys
Oh,
for her.
that's nice.
Yeah, how's that for a lovely childhood? So yeah, it's pretty crazy. She was really something, which was sad. But then a year later, they were able to join the dad. There's one book that I just want to briefly mention. Gary Paulsen's Gone to the Woods: Surviving a Lost Childhood. That was really based on his childhood.
Wow.
And what he used to do was, because it was so bad, his home life, that he would just disappear into the woods and, enjoy the nature. And that's where all of his stories came from. But when they decided they were able to go to the Philippines to be with the dad, they boarded. This part scares me because my husband because we have a plane and he flies. So they boarded a ship in San Francisco, and the passengers were watching a small plane come down and crash.
Oh my gosh.
I know. They watched in horror as a plane crash landed nearby, and as the passengers like were in the water, and there were it talks about sharks and things, and so that was like so
You're not really starting this show off on a very happy note there, Miss Linda. My gosh.
But anyway, that was a lot of what is behind in Gone to the Woods, surviving a lost childhood. He said that a lot of it was hard to talk about, but the one thing, and I am going to end on a positive note, what made him a writer was when he was young. One day it said he ducked into the library to get warm, which would not be a surprise in Minnesota. A librarian asked if he had had a library card. When he said no, she gave him one, along with a Scripto notebook and a number 2 pencil with instructions to read everything he could and write down everything that he thought. And it was from that point on that he continued to do it the rest of his life. And he has written, I believe it was over, I want to say 200 stories.
Wow.
And it was because of that one librarian.
It's always about the library.
It is. It's about the librarian. So, okay. So forget the plane crash and all the other stuff. Remember the librarian in the card.
She saved him.
She saved him. So that's how he became an author.
Very cool.
Yes. God bless you, Gary Paulsen.
Yep. So the kids actually were all coming after Maker Monday yesterday. They saw the display, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, he died the day after we finished reading Hatchet," because they read it in school.
Yeah.
And I remember my 6th grade teacher would start our language arts class every day reading a chapter book aloud to us.
Yeah.
And I still remember every single book he read because it was so meaningful to me to still have somebody read aloud to you at that age.
Yeah.
And Hatchet was one of them.
Yeah.
And I remember, and he was so good at reading them, and it was
that's
it was
great.
such a great memory.
I love it. I love being read to.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I love audiobooks.
Exactly. All right, so moving on.
Yes, we can move on. But it was a positive move on.
Yes. Okay, good.
God bless librarians.
Yeah, and we have a whole display of Gary Paulsen. So if you come on and refresh or reread, and he's got a bunch of them. Just the Hatchet is obviously his most famous, but he's got a bunch.
Yep.
All right, so we have our volunteer board, which has been going pretty great the last couple months. So if you want to be a volunteer at the library, you do have to be part of the volunteer board. We meet once a month. Well, we meet twice a month, but you only have to attend one meeting. I have options that way, for flexible schedules. So it's the first Saturday of the month at 11 a.m. or the first Thursday of the month at 7 p.m. There'll be no meeting on Thursday in November, though, because of the Novel November event that Linda's going to talk about in a minute here. So we're only going to meet on the Saturday in November. So that'll be the first Saturday of November, which is coming up really soon. And then we have our teen-only Explore and Make coming up, which I meant to bring the sample of our needle felting. So needle felting is a little bit more difficult. That's why we're not having a tween option for that. It's just going to be for teens. And we're going to make little mini acorns out of, and Miss Beth's going to show you how to do needle felting, which is a really interesting technique. But then and that's going to be on the 2nd at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But then on the, let's see, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st, 32nd, 33rd, 34th, 35th, 36th, 37th, 38th, 39th, 40th, 41st, 42nd, 43rd, 44th, 45th, 46th, 47th, 48th, 49th, 50th, 51st, 52nd, 53rd, 54th, 55th, 56th, 57th, 58th, 59th, 60th, 61st, 62nd, 63rd, 64th, 65th, 66th, 67th, 68th, 69th, 70th, 71st, 72nd, 73rd, 74th, 75th, 76th, 77th, 78th, 79th, 80th, 81st, 82nd, 83rd, 84th, 85th, 86th the 16th, we have our teen and tween explore. We have different sessions. We have one for teens and one for tweens.
Here, let me hold one
And
end. This is so cute.
We're gonna make a pie
cute.
garland. So that is really cute.
Yeah.
So the pieces will already be kind of mostly cut out for you, and you're gonna learn how to make this, and you can hang it in your room or give it to your mom to hang on the mantle or whatever.
I think
you want
it's
to do.
adorable.
I love it. Yeah, it's really really
Something
cute.
clever, like there's not a lot of Thanksgiving kind of
No,
decorations.
no.
It's not like there's stuff, but not as fun as like
Halloween and
Christmas holidays
yeah.
or Halloween or whatever.
Right.
So I think that's adorable.
I do too. So we're gonna make that on the 16th. So that will be from 3 to 4 for the teens, and then from 4 to 5 for the tweens. You do have to register for all of these programs, though. We have limited space and limited materials, so you have to go onto our website to register for any of those activities.
Yep. And you know what? It's like I always want to say, sold out. You know, they fill.
They
It's
do.
great.
The tween one for sure fills.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, yesterday we had those couple of teens that came in. They thought that they were, coming in for the Explore and Make, which is tomorrow, to do the acorn thing. Not the acorn, it's the candy corn, right? To make it look like a candy corn. And they got online. I didn't quite gather whether they were registered or not, but they went on and said, "Oh, it's full." And I went, "Yeah, it's wonderful. It's great things for them to do after school, and they really like being at the library after school."
Yeah, for sure. It's fun.
So, like you said, because of the first Thursday of not having your volunteer board, because we have Taylor Jenkins read for our novel November. She's an adult author that her books, everyone that I've read so far, I've really enjoyed.
Me too.
And she's coming. We're hosting her. Our foundation actually is hosting her. And it's going to be right here at the Peters Township High School.
Yeah.
In the brand new auditorium, which I think is fabulous. It's like state of the art. It looks so professional. It's just beautiful. So that is November 4th, 7 p.m. And tickets are on sale, whatever's left. I know it's getting pretty close to being sold out.
So come buy one now.
Yep. If there are any, you don't want to miss it. She's wonderful. Her books are great. A lot of book groups are reading her books. Ours read Daisy Jones and the Six.
I'm reading that one right now.
Yeah, our book club read that, and I thought it was really cool. I think it's just, even for teens would like that, because it's based on a band.
Yeah.
That's supposedly like Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
Is what they're saying. So I thought it was cool.
The audiobook, you talked about audiobooks. Did you listen to it or did you read it?
I read it.
Because the audiobook is really, really well done, because it goes back between all those different characters. So there's about a dozen different voices.
Oh, yeah, because there are a lot.
Instead of having one person read all of it, they have a different actor for every single thing.
Yeah.
So it really makes it more, more like authentic. Like you actually feel like they're talking. Like it's almost like they're being interviewed, because that's how it's kind of written too.
Which is good, because sometimes when you listen to the audiobooks, I'm listening to one now, I'm just about done with it. And when one person is reading it and they've got all of these characters, and now they have to change, their voices or their accents or and this one happens to be taking place in Boston. So this woman that is reading it, playing, taking the guy's part with a heavy accent, and you're like, wow. So you have that many characters in Daisy Jones. Wow, that would be really hard for one person to do.
Yeah.
So that's cool to hear.
Yeah, it's neat. I'm enjoying it for sure.
And another one that we do, that I do, New Month, New Books, the first day of every month, featuring our green dots.
What's a green dot, Linda?
What's a green dot? Thank you for asking, Miss Shannon. This is what a green dot looks like. It is on the spine of our new books, and we put it in our new book display, which is as soon as you walk into Youth Services, it'll be on your right-hand side. I always show it on my videos. You kind of go around the corner. And what I've been doing is showing them newly ready to go, on the shelf, so that when you come in after we've talked about them in it.
Cute one.
Look at this. This literally just came down to my desk yesterday, all ready to go, shine like a unicorn. So we put little green dots on them. We put them on our display, And when I talk to you about them, they're ready to be checked out immediately. You don't have to wait for them to be cataloged or anything. Do it that way. It's like, let's get them out.
Come and get it. Yep.
Come and get it. So, new month, new books.
Very
Green
cool.
dot. Yeah.
All right, and we are continuing on with our recorded bedtime stories, which are on our YouTube page, and they also go up on our Facebook. They are every Monday through Thursday. There'll be a new one on Facebook. The week of the November 1st, we're going to talk about veterans or patriotic themed stories, and then the week of November 8th, we are doing thankfulness stories. And they come up on our Facebook page at 7 o'clock in the evening, but you can see them on our YouTube page usually several days before then. And we also have we're continuing with our virtual book babies and our Mother Goose story time. That is also a recorded program that's on our YouTube page. However, you do have to register for it because it is a private video, so we only share it to those that are registered because we do use music that has copyright, so we're not able to just have it streaming on YouTube. So you have to make sure you sign up to get your link, and some really fun songs to do and activities to do with their little ones. And what I say is, like, parents, you can watch it and just learn a couple songs to build up into your repertoire, because the best thing you can do for your little ones is to read and sing to them. And Miss Patty is great, and she shows you all the different activities that you can do along with the songs and the finger plays and stuff. So it really helps you as a parent build up your repertoire of activities you can do with your child.
When you're a new parent, you don't know all of the things, No. So to have somebody teach you some that you can, and repetition for little ones is so important.
Right.
You just do it over and over and over until you are singing it in your sleep. And then you've done a good job.
Exactly.
Okay, pause for reading.
Oh, I love pause.
One of our favorite programs, one of our favorite monthly programs that the staff just loves. We get the dogs in. We are partnering this year with Animal Friends. They are helping us bring in registered therapy dogs. And registered means they've been through the training. These are well-handled, kind, cuddly, patient dogs that come in with their owners. And you can come in and you can register for a 20-minute slot. And you literally pick a dog, whatever dog is open or available, and you sit down and you read to them. You can, bring in a book and read, or pick something out that we have. It's all good. Or just hang out and get to know the dog and not be afraid of dogs.
Absolutely.
Yep. It's a very, very good program. So the next one, I feel a sneeze coming on. The next one will be Saturday, November 20th. And I was thinking, why is it so late? The reason why it's so late is the weekend, the Saturday before when we usually have it, is our mini golf. And the mini golf is taking up the whole library. You'll be talking about that.
I can talk about it now.
You want to talk about it now? All right. Mini golf is taking up the library, so pause is going to be, just shifted one week.
Yes, so we have our annual mini golf coming up on November 13th from 10 to 2. You do have to sign up for a tea time. They are going fast. We only have a couple left right now. We will have a wait list too, but we cannot guarantee any walk-in space. And so you sign up for a tea time and you get to play mini golf throughout the entire library, possibly even to the second floor. Last year we didn't do them, but the year time before that, we were only on the first floor, but I think we're expanding our
It looks repertoire. Like it. I saw the room availability,
yeah.
So unfortunately I'll miss that, but
it's gonna be
what
fun.
A blast it is.
It is.
I think it's almost full.
It is almost full. There's only a few tea times left, and our staff
jump on it.
Our staff all create the holes, and so we can have a little competition between the staff of who has the best hole. So that's going to be on Saturday, November 13th from 10 to 2.
What a blast.
For sure.
That's a blast. All right, let me show you. So I picked a very simple but meaningful book for November for the Tween Book Club to read. Thursday, November 18th, and that's a different date as well due to Thanksgiving week, which it would normally have been, but I was a little nervous. Well, actually, this one falls on a Thursday, so it falls on Thanksgiving. So it's pushed ahead a little bit. to the November 18th. Anyway, the book is called The One Thing You'd Save by Linda Sue Park, and it is 4 o'clock on that. First 5 registrants get a free copy. And let me just read you, it's just a quick blurb. The assignment, this is the assignment. See, I think this is so meaningful. Pick, and makes you think, pick a single object to save in an emergency. Each student has an answer. For one, it's a photograph. For another, it's his trading cards. Well, no, his whole bookcase. Wait, is that even allowed? Students talk, they argue, stand by their choices, and change their minds as they discover unexpected facets of one another and of themselves, done with insight and humor. So it's the one thing you'd save.
An object. I don't know.
Yeah, that is so.
I'd be more concerned about my kid and my dogs. I don't know what object I would go for.
I know. Is anything really worth it when it comes down to it?
Right.
You know, really, really food for thought. And I thought really good discussion. I thought for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's like gratitude.
Right.
What are you thankful for? What's really important? Is it anything material?
Right.
You know. So that's our good one.
Yeah, and I'll be interested to hear what the kids have to say.
I can't wait because I'm going to ask them if they've thought about it, what they would save.
Right.
Which means I better come up with something too.
You better.
You bet.
All right. So we have our Tween and Teen Writer Club, which is going really, really well. The teens actually meet twice a month now because they're enjoying it so much and they want to have more time to get together and talk about their writing. But we meet, the regular scheduled time is Thursday, November 11th for the 4th through 6th graders at 4 to 5. And the teens meet in the evening from 7 to 8. And then I think they also meet the 2 weeks after that. But with Thanksgiving, that might not be the case anyways. But we have Miss Beth, our children's staff, that is also a professional writer and writes middle grade. So she meets with them and really helps with kind of helping with revisions and how to really chart a story. She's brought in manuscripts of books that she's written to see they can see how long an actual book actually looks like, and how the process that she does. And it's been going really, really well. She's had a really great turnout for both groups. So
great
it's been really
feedback.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention too is something to keep in mind, for our teens, young adults here, that writing, this doesn't mean you're going to become necessarily mean, because we could have published authors in our midst, and maybe somebody from this group will come and maybe be published, but you need to learn how to write.
Right.
You're going to do a lot of writing probably now in high school, but when you go on to college and grad school, forget about it. That's all you do. And you know what? If you can learn how to do it, ways to do it, how to improve on that, she's doing a great job. I'm really, really happy about this program.
Yeah, it's a really good one for sure. And we've been bringing back our Night with WQED program. So in honor of Thanksgiving, we're going to do Daniel Tiger's Thank You Day, because who doesn't love Daniel Tiger? I mean, with him being a spinoff of our native Mr. Rogers, you can't really go wrong with it. So that's going to be on the Thursday, November 11th at 6:30. We're going to do some different activities. We'll read a Daniel Tiger Thank You Day story, and then we're going to watch Thank You Grand-Père and learn a little bit about thankfulness and with our friend Daniel.
Okay, cruising right along, Tiny Toons. It's been fun, once a month, just doing different musical things. For Monday, November 8th, it's called November Listen for the Sounds, and we're doing a story about the sounds that you hear in nature. So, of course, you get your paint and everything, but you are going to make wind chimes. Isn't that sweet? And they're real easy. The little things are in there. They can paint them, and when you put them in the outside in the little wind, but it trying to tune their ears into what you are missing or hearing out in nature.
Oh, cool.
So that's what we're concentrating on for November.
Nice.
And then STEM Saturday, we're doing balloon-propelled vehicles. I always, like the last time when I was filming doing the October one, And the grandma that sent me the email with the pictures, or the mom sent it with the pictures of the kids doing the experiment. It had to do with, vinegar and baking soda, and you put it in there, and then the carbon dioxide, it just like comes up, and then it starts expanding, and your balloon starts building and building and building. And I did the video, and I thought, oh, okay, in the video. So I go to take the balloon off the thing, and I'm thinking, okay, well, I can take it off now. And I'm thinking, well, if I hold on tight to this, and it was just like a pop can that had been shaken up, and it just went like this. I'm like, what? I said, I'll be right back. I have to clean up. I left it on there. But so we're going to work with balloons again, but this time we're going to get this little puppy moving. Okay. It's going to be a little vehicle with little wheels, and it is going to move just by the power of a balloon and air.
All right. Well, I'm interested to see how that works for you.
So am I.
It's going to be fun.
Yes. So here, we've done the mini golf.
Yep.
And
do you have a book you'd like to share real quick?
Go ahead. Do you want me to do the?
Go ahead. You can do one.
Well, the only one I brought was the new one, Shine Like a Unicorn. So let me just read, the thing. It's because who doesn't love a unicorn? Mm-hmm. So unicorns are special and totally unique. So it does UNI-QUE, unique.
Like a unicorn.
Unique, yeah.
I see it.
Yeah, okay. So we have crazy names. We know how to stand out in a herd. We love to ask questions and dream extra big. Most important, we make our own magic. So come with me and learn how to be a unicorn in these 9 secret steps. Warning, it's not always easy.
I wouldn't think it's easy to be a unicorn.
No. So
wouldn't think.
Come and get your unicorn book.
Cute. Well, this one is a brand new one we got for teens, and it looks like a lot of fun. It's a historical fiction. It's called Enola Holmes and the Black Barouche, and she is the niece of the very famous Sherlock Holmes.
Oh.
And she's a young teen girl, and she ends up on all her own, mystery cases and solving things. So if you like a good mystery, if you like some historical fiction, I think this is going to be a really fun one. It takes place in like the late 1800s, early 1900s, and it's also a quick read, which is always fun too. So I think it's Enola Holmes and the Black Barouche. So very fun, brand new story about a young girl who is empowered, capable, and smart. It's the start of a new series.
Like her uncle?
Fun,
Did you say it was her uncle was Sherlock Holmes?
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
I love when they do like stories like that.
She's the much younger. Oh, never mind. She's the sister. Enola Holmes is the much younger sister of her more famous brothers, Sherlock and Mycroft. But
that's his sister?
She's the little sister, the baby sister. So
even more interesting.
Yeah, so let's see what she gets herself into.
Yeah.
I think it might be fun.
I think it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, mysteries are always a good time.
And I love the idea of the brother, sister, the sibling thing.
Right.
Just the dynamics of like, does he become more famous and where does she fit in?
Right. And the time period, her place wouldn't have been necessarily to be solving crime mysteries and things like that too.
Very true. Because women, were treated differently
then. So it would be very interesting.
We're taking care of that, aren't we?
You go solve a murder mystery there.
Ooh. Well, I actually am reading, the book I'm reading was a mystery, and this woman was murdered, and I'm down to the end where they found out who, solved the crime, and I had guessed it.
Good job.
But I changed my mind along the way. And then I came down to it and went, oh, I knew it.
Yeah.
I'm in my car listening to it. I knew it. I thought so. He has nothing to lose. He was dying anyway.
Oh, jeez. Sounds like a good one.
It was. All right.
Well, on that note.
Let's leave on that let's leave on that note. So, till what? Our next half of November.
Yeah.
We'll be back with with a lot.
A lot more fun.
All right.
Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Ciao.